Hello guys, today I'm returning to a voiceover video and attempting to beat Cuphead without charms. Charms are things like an extra life, instant parry, and of course invincibility when dashing, but I said nah. Let me play an already hard game without any of that. Now I know you guys have all probably seen those videos where people beat the game without supers, charms, and with the default gun, and in black and white, and blindfolded, and using one hand. The reason why I didn't attempt a challenge like that is because I'm not a trained professional. I'm not FaZe Doge, guys. Think of this as your average Joe's attempt at a Cuphead challenge in a already hard game. After I chose which character to play, I decided the first world wasn't going to be that hard, and for the most part I was right. Now we can just skim past a few things. I went and I bought a new gun. I went and I destroyed the first two bosses. Nothing really hard yet. Just a quick note, I didn't beat all the run and guns in this, mostly because if I can't get charms, what's the point of even playing them for coins? There's no point. However, I did decide to beat this first one just so I could buy a new gun. Unfortunately, these frog fellows represented our first rift in the challenge. It was really less about the charms, and more that I hadn't played this game in a very long time. Luckily, trial and error prevailed, and I eventually beat them. I was very scared about this next boss. I'm just gonna say boss, because I really don't know how to describe it, because it's kind of like a helicopter, but also at the same time, it's like a cloud, but yeah, I just ended up one-shotting it. The last boss on Aisle 1 is the flower one, and unfortunately I didn't have an easy time with it. This is one of those bosses where smoke grenade is actually super useful because of all the things that are happening. You know, they're shooting carrots at you, there's the like little PD piranhas on the ground, so it was kind of hard, but after a few tries I eventually got it. Before I went to the next world, I beat the last run and gun in Aisle 1, and I also beat the mausoleum, just because those extra guns and the super will probably come in handy later on.
I'm Mr. King Dice, I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice, I'm the devil's right-hand man.
The first three bosses of Aisle 2 were easy enough. I think it's mostly because at this point I'd kind of warmed up to playing the game. The only one that gave me any kind of challenge was the candy one. There was this really close part at the end where I was just running around for probably around 30 seconds. I'll show you. The dragon came down easier than I expected. You know, it's typically one of the hardest bosses in the game, but I beat it pretty easily once I got the charge shot. It did take me a few tries to beat this guy, but after a while, I got the hang of it, and then Aisle 2 was done. After beating Aisle 2, I decided to go and check my death count. 13? Alright, I was like, okay, this is so easy, I got this. Well, I wish I didn't say that. Why did I ever agree to do this challenge? It's so hard. What followed past this, Aisle 3. Guys, just click off the video. Just unsubscribe right now. Alright, let me cut to the chase. Basically, what happened after that is I went to one of the running guns, I beat it, and I grabbed the chaser just so I could finish that final form of the bee where it turned into a helicopter and no attacks hit it for some reason. So the chaser kind of did its job and I ended up beating it. But still, super annoying. That's like half of my deaths later on. I'll show you, at the end of the video, I'll have like the death counter. I'll go back to them. But yeah, after that, things cooled down for a little bit. Some of the bosses gave me a bit of a struggle, but really nothing really stood out in Inkwell Isle 3. I'll quickly go through each of them. The pirate is one of the easiest bosses in the game. The only thing really hard is the final form, but if you have the chaser or can just parry the laser beam, you should be fine. I had a decently hard time with a mermaid, and yes, I did just mess up that bomb right there, but it took me a few tries. After a while I beat her. It's more of just one of those bosses that you need to get good RNG with the first stage. The play boss was a little bit easier. It took me a few tries because it's one of those ones where like the smoke grenade is really handy, but I got her. Alright, time for an unpopular opinion. The robot boss really isn't that hard. Okay, I know a lot of people really hate this boss, but honestly, aside from the first part just being a little bit overwhelming, really the last stage is just bullet hell. It's not really that hard compared to some other bosses. The rat was super easy. I think I beat it first try. The ghost train, I thought the last stage was going to be hard, but the chaser helped me out. And then from there, it was just Inkwell hell. Alright, one of the more pleasant surprises of this playthrough was how easy King Dice really was to beat. I think it took me maybe 6 or 7 tries, but it really wasn't that hard compared to other things. When I beat him, I was like, yo, okay, this wasn't really that hard. All I have is the devil left. I will admit, the symbol monkey boss is super annoying, but other than that, like, it wasn't that hard. When I defeated King Dice, I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe this wasn't such a bad idea. Well, and then I got to the devil. If you guys thought 15 minutes was bad, I hope you guys are ready to watch a total of an hour and 20 minutes of just restarting or dying. There was a point in the recording where I just stopped playing. I just stopped playing for a few minutes, and I just reconsidered my life choices. I ended up quitting that session and just tried again tomorrow. However, I would not be held down forever. It was one of those runs where I'd somehow gotten past the first phase with 3 lives, and I was determined to stop playing this game at this point. And I missed the super. I missed the super, and I thought my run was over. Within seconds, my 3 hearts had turned into 1. However, I finally ended up beating the phase that had given me so much trouble, and now I was at the tier phase, which was equally annoying. Doge is still funny, guys. So yeah, I ended up beating it. You know, I had some hiccups along the way, but honestly, that wasn't really the hardest challenge. You know, I did die a substantial amount of times, I'll show it in a second, but In all reality, you know, I could probably do another one of these Cuphead challenges and do it no problem, because, you know, I'm the best gamer ever. This video really just taught me that I'm Tfue, guys. You guys want to subscribe to Tfue, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Honestly, I don't think this death count really includes quitting, because I'm way over 100, honestly. Well, I think I'm going to end the video there. Thank you for watching, guys.